So tonight I thought we would talk about our like low-hanging fruit in our meals. Like, what is the hardest meal for you? Like for me, for example, dinner's always great. I cook dinner pretty much every night, so I never really have to worry about dinner. And breakfast is easy too, because I just usually have like dinner leftovers, or sometimes I'll have like a Fitme inspired with like cereal and protein powder and blueberries or oatmeal or something like that, right? It's just easy for me to make those meals because I'm home. Even though, this is a misconception, and I even thought this too, even though I've been mostly home a lot over the last, like, since I've been raising my children, it's almost, I would like to think, oh, I'm home, I can make whatever I want for lunch, so I don't really need to plan it out. But it's really not that simple. By the time lunchtime comes, I look in the fridge, and if there's like really nothing set out, prepped in containers or whatever, I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like making that. Oh, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound good. And so usually, literally, I'm like, I'll go to the pantry, I'll take a handful of tortilla chips, like, and that will be kind of my lunch. And so like lunch for me is really, it's really hard, but it's also the deal breaker. Like if I don't eat lunch, I'm snacking at night, even if I'm full from dinner, because it's like we skip a meal, we're chasing it the whole day. We can never actually get it back. Our body has missed that opportunity to ingest the food, take it in, use it for fuel, all the things, right? And so even at night, if I skip lunch and I've had a solid dinner, I still feel like I need something else. It's the most bizarre thing. And it's because it's true. I haven't eaten enough calories during the day. So I do still need something else. So that's why lunch for me, I've got to figure it out, because it's really important in terms of how the rest of my nutrition folds out for the rest of the day. So let's talk about it. Let's brainstorm ideas. Let's talk about why we think that, oh my God, my computer's going to die in a second. Why we struggle with that meal, blah, blah, blah. I'm opening it straight up.
I struggle with lunch too, but I've been doing really good because I prepped rice. And then all I have to do is I can add raw veggies and a meat, or, then all I have to do is prep the meat. So I've got frozen chicken thighs now.
Good.
Since our talk. We had a good talk.
I like it when something hits.
So I've just been, the last few days have been really, really good for getting that lunch in and getting plenty. And we've got tons of tomatoes. So I've been eating tons of tomatoes. And
awesome. I love it. And does that make your rest of your day nutritionally fold out,
yes.
Fold out better?
Yeah. Cause if I'm the same way. If I skip breakfast, then I want to snack all day. So I have to make sure I get breakfast. Mm-hmm. And then if I skip lunch, then I want to snack all evening. Mm-hmm. So I have to make sure that I'm getting those meals in and getting an adequate amount of calories. Totally. So that I don't snack at night.
Yeah.
And water's the other thing. You have to make sure you're drinking enough water or you're going to be snacky.
Yep. I agree. That's always the thing. I'm like, I want something else, but I'm not quite sure. And I'll try a bite of a cookie. I'll try a piece of granola, but I'll try like 20 things. And then I'm like, it's water.
It's water. It's always water. Yeah. And the air fryer is my best friend.
Yay. Awesome.
Julie, you're like a rock star with that air fryer. It amazes me, some of the things that you make out of that thing, especially when you take it camping. She posted a picture in the challenge group, and it was sweet potatoes, and they look like chips almost. And she did them in the air fryer. I just have not gotten brave enough to use it for a whole lot of things yet.
I cook carrots, zucchini. I cut my sweet potato into rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I make them thick, sometimes I make them thin, and then I cook them in there, and it's about 15 minutes, I guess. If they're thicker, obviously they have to go longer. And then today I just did them plain, but usually I take butter and brown sugar and melt it together, and then take a brush and lightly brush each after I cook them half the time. Then I flip them over, and then I add the butter and brown sugar to it. And then I cook them so it kind of gets a little caramely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's
So
so good.
Are
And
they single layered?
yeah, single layered. It's one serving. I mean, and I don't really count how, whatever one serving layer is, that's what I eat. So, and then you can add cinnamon to it if you like cinnamon on your sweet potatoes, and
I like that too.
it works great. So zucchini and sweet potatoes. I've done homemade French fries, the carrots, broccoli, cauliflower. I don't like broccoli in there because it dries out and gets burnt. Brussels sprouts. We do chicken, salmon, all of the meats in there.
That's cool. I forget about mine too. The kids use it all the time. The kids use that air fryer all the time, which I'm happy about. That's one less thing I have to cook them.
I would say my lowest hanging fruit is weekends.
Mm.
Probably lunch on weekends, because I do really good all week long. Breakfast, I have breakfast every morning. Lunch is always prepped. I prep my lunch by packing up my dinner for the next couple of days. And so that's always prepped. And then dinner, a couple of days I eat a prepped meal, and then the days my husband's off, he cooks. And so I don't struggle during the week. It's the weekend. And I think it's because, like you said, you're always chasing a meal. I start later. I do my workout later. My breakfast is later. And then I get busy doing, cleaning house or running errands or whatever. And lunch just kind of gets forgotten. And then it's like 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, well, I'll just eat dinner now. And so I totally lose one meal on the weekends almost all the time, unless I'm really planning it.
So like during the week, it sounds like, and I know, I kind of know your schedule. So it sounds like you have like a loose time frame that you eat all your meals. And so maybe you're going to consider that on the weekend too. Like, okay, maybe you're starting 2 hours later. How much later do you think you start on the weekends? Like just your day in general?
Well, I go out to walk at 6, so it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours.
And then I'll eat I eat like at 9, and typically I eat breakfast at like 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6. So that meal in itself is pushed way back.
Yeah. And so maybe you're just, instead of being like, oh, it's 2 or 3, I'm just going to wait. Maybe you should just eat, because it really doesn't matter if like the calories consumed, it doesn't matter. You can have a huge meal of 1,000 calories. If your calories are only at 1,000 calories, it doesn't really matter if you eat it all at once or not. Right. And so it's kind of like maybe at 2, maybe you need to have a loose time frame for yourself on the weekend too. Like maybe it's going to be 2 hours later, because maybe you're not really hungry yet, but eating something at 2 is okay. Like, I don't know. Do you have like a food rule that you can't eat? You can't.
No, like I will eat at 2.
You will.
But yeah, I'll eat at 2, but then it's like 2 or 3. But it's like my dinner in my mind. It's more like a dinner because it's later, and then you just skip a meal in there somewhere.
I do. But reframing it somehow and being like, that's just this is really lunchtime, because in reality, my breakfast was pushed out. Everything's pushed out a little bit. And even if you eat dinner a little bit later, even if you don't, who cares if you eat at 2 and then at 5? Who gives a crap, right? I mean, like, there's no hard, fast rule on that. But sometimes the time frame is what kind of brings me back to reality. Like, oh shit, I've got to eat right now. If I don't, then X, Y, Z is going to happen.
Yeah, for the entire month of August.
I heard you say that. I laughed. You're like, ooh, my bad.
I did not get a single Fitme plate on a Saturday the entire month. I mean, I ate food, and it was, sometimes it was Fitme inspired, but it wasn't like a true Fitme plate on the weekend. Just on Saturday. Sunday I do, because I food prep that day, and so I'll eat whatever I prep. but it's just the Saturday.
Do you find yourself struggling with like snacking?
Maybe. Depends. It depends what I do. If I go to the farmer's market, yes.
Yes.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's snacks there.
I
So
know. I love the farmer's market just for that reason.
I know. But yeah, I do snack throughout the day on chips and salsa.
Why corn chips? I can cut out anything else, but don't you dare ask me to cut out tortilla chips. It's not happening. It's not happening. I mean, I guess too that's a personal choice. Like if you're okay with it, you know what I mean? If you don't feel completely horrible, then it's not the end of the world to not have a Fitme plate on a Saturday. That's my thought on that. But if you're like snacking all weekend, it's throwing your whole entire weekend up, I would probably tell you something different.
Yeah.
These dogs, they have to like all be like right next to me. What about snacks? Does anybody struggle with snacks?
Snacking too much, so I don't allow myself to snack very often.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could eat half a bag of tortilla chips and salsa or guacamole and be like, I just ruined my whole calorie budget for the day. I'm way over. And then I just stopped counting calories after that. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that is very true. Some people like, I don't think Natika snacks. I think she just eats 3 meals.
I don't snack. And it's probably because just like Julie said, I'm not going to eat a Fitme inspired snack. So I'd rather just eat a big meal for my meals and not be hungry in between.
Mm-hmm.
I do have dessert every night though. I have
What's your dessert?
Well, usually it's either yogurt with protein in it or which is what I try to go to, but that doesn't always happen. Last night it was pumpkin pie and whipped cream. Ice cream. I plan that into my day specifically so that I can have a treat every night, because my husband likes treats every night and it's really hard to say no to treats when he's eating treats. So it's just easier to plan it.
I mean, if that's something that you're okay with, then, you know, the whole thing here is like, what do we feel good about and what don't we feel good about is kind of what it comes down to. And so it's like, if we plan our treat in and there's one every night and that's a special thing we like to do and it works for us and we don't feel bad, we don't beat ourselves up, we don't blah, 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 feel shitty, then it's like, that's the right choice for you. You know what I mean? And so that is another thing. It's like, yeah, as we're, you know, building these healthy lifestyles with balance and all the things, we also want to remember that we want to enjoy our lives, and still feel good and still like hit our goals and blah, blah, blah. And if we can do that, however, you know what I mean? If we can do that and have a dessert with our husband every night and plan it in, sometimes maybe it's a protein yogurt, sometimes it's a pumpkin pie. It's like, I think that is part of us figuring out who we are and what feels good to us and what we feel okay about. And that's the one thing I like about Fitme. You know, I had a friend, literally, she's 20. I guess she's going to be 30 soon. She's 29. She's like gung-ho to like change her body, be shredded AF, blah, 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 in a cut face. And she's like, I'm really craving a burrito. I'm like, eat a burrito then. Like, eat it and move on. Like, it's not the end of the world. But to her, that was such like a big thing. And that's like one thing I love about Fitme so much is like, if I'm craving a burrito, I can have a taco truck burrito once in a while. It's not like the end of the world. And that's, it's all part of like a healthy mindset and lifestyle. There's just a
I-
couple. Go ahead.
I agree. I agree. You have to make time for the foods that you really enjoy, because if you don't, then you end up craving them, and then you end up overeating them, and then you're just get stuck in this cycle with your mindset. And that's been a challenge for me. So I allow myself to have a treat every day, and then I don't get stuck in that, oh, I'm deprived mindset.
Mhm.
And that works.
One thing
And you're
about-
still losing weight.
Well, actually, I'm maintaining. My calories are up high enough now that I'm maintaining. So
and that's great.
yes, but I'm going to talk to my coach about that, because I do want to try to lose a few pounds before we go to Disney. So I'm going to talk to her about what her thoughts are on that, because I have shorts that I would like to be able to wear at Disney, and I can't wear them right this minute. But I know it only take a few pounds to get into them. So that's my next conversation with her. Especially since I've been maintaining for like a couple months now. It hasn't moved. So
And we talked about maintenance a little bit last week in reverse. Maintenance is like true maintenance is a skill. It's a skill. Like it's still something we have to think about. It's still something, that we have to work on, but not necessarily as hard as weight loss, but it's a skill to be in maintenance and not like want to just eat all the things because we're not dieting. And so that's pretty cool, Julie.
yeah, I guess I still have the dieting mindset, but I am making better choices. Obviously, if you look at my Fitme plates, I'm making way better choices than I would if I wasn't in Fitme. And then I see all these people on all these Facebook pages and Instagram and reels that are like eating 1,200 calories. I'm like, you're not. I just want to shout it from the rooftop. You're not eating enough.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, now I get into this thing with food.
I think her laptop died.
Yep, I think your laptop did die.
She said it was going to.
Oops. Okay, Marlena.
Right?
Yeah.
Here she comes. She's coming back. Oh no, she's not.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, Julie, I just finished a weight loss season. I was in maintenance for probably like a year and a half of just maintaining my same weight. And Leah's my coach. And it was really interesting because I've never done weight loss the right way. And she was telling me how to do it the right way. And before I even went into the weight loss season, she had me practicing weight loss, which was really interesting because I didn't think I was going to have to do that. But it was just kind of deciding which treats I was going to have and which ones I wasn't going to have. Because when you go into a true weight loss season, you have to really say no more than you say yes to those treats. And you're doing like really well with your Fitme plates and everything. And I think if you're like the snack that you have every evening, if you had, rather than the ice cream, you had the protein yogurt, even that small little change, I think you would drop some weight. Sometimes it's like the smallest change, and that's what she was teaching me, is it doesn't take a whole lot, like a couple of no's to cookies, because I would eat cookies the size of my face. Literally. I should get one of those cookies one of these days and show you guys.
And share it.
They were like 2 inches thick. And just by saying no to some of those things that I wanted all the time, I was able to lose weight. And And maintaining it now that I'm not in a weight loss season is really hard, but it's still like continuing to, I would say, make different choices, not really saying no to all the treats, because I have been saying yes to more than when I was in the weight loss season, but just really choosing, I think, the treats.
Yeah, that's my plan, is to really choose what I'm eating. And usually when I would lose weight, I would cut down to 1,300 calories. And I already, because of this, and I know that that's not good. So I wouldn't even drop like 500 calories. I'd only drop a couple hundred. And you're right, changing some of those things that I'm eating would automatically do that.
The cool thing too is like, we want the least effective dose. So we want to eat as much food possible and still see results. Like our old mindsets is like, let's just slash it. Less is more, blah, blah, blah. Then yeah, of course, when we try to go into like a maintenance season, which I didn't even know what the hell maintenance season was before Fitme. It's like, I thought I did, right? Then we're like so restricted that how in the hell are we even gonna, we're setting ourselves up for failure before we even get there.
Exactly.
And the other cool thing is like, we don't always have to have a deficit from food. We can have a deficit from movement. And so, that's also cool because we still want to eat and fuel our bodies.
So anyway, that's off topic, but
I know it is. We went down a rabbit hole, but that's okay. It's a good one.
Well, and the good thing is I want to do it before, like I want to do it in the next like 6 or 8 weeks, so that when we come into the holidays, I'm not having to say no to everything.
Yeah.
That I can reverse it right back into maintenance and be okay without gaining weight before we go to Disney. So that's where my mindset is right now.
No, I like it because it's like, this is actually a good time right now to go into a weight loss season because summer's wrapping up. We don't have all the, not that I get out very much, but we don't have the barbecues, the outings, the whatever, like, or you guys don't, I don't go anywhere. So, but that season is wrapping up. And then we have this, like, kids are going back to school, kind of like all of September, all of October before we really start. And we could even do 2 weeks into November before like the holiday season really hits. So it's kind of, if I was going to suggest 2 times a year that weight loss season is better, it would be like in the spring and in the fall before the holiday season and before the summer season.
Summer was hard. Summer was really hard.
Well, now you know, for future reference.
Yeah,
Don't do
I
it in the
know.
summertime.
Well, I was supposed to start in February, but she kept pushing it and pushing it. We kept practicing.
Yeah, actually, let's practice.
She's like, let's practice some more. She's tricky. But it was good.
And then it's also good because, hey, you can get back into maintenance over the holiday season and give your body that like diet break. And then if you want to go into another one later in the year, you can.
Exactly.
Constant with these dogs.
Uh-oh. The baby just got hurt. I don't know what she did.
So anything else, ladies, before? Oh, I have an announcement to make. This is going to be the last food call that I am leading. From now on, dun, da, da, Marlena's going to be taking over.
Marlena, I did not know that when I said, okay, Marlena, when your computer died. Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. But I just want to say that I've really enjoyed this call. It's fun. It's been fun getting to know you ladies, especially, no offense to Marlena and and Terry, but especially like the ladies I don't get to see on a regular basis. It's just kind of cool to connect and like get a different collab going on with ladies that just, aren't in the same group and just don't know each other quite as well. And so it's been really cool.
So what are you going to do instead?
I'm going to have a different plate. I'm just going to be doing a couple different things. And so I can't be like doing all the things plus adding on some things. So I'm not leaving Fitme by any means. I'm just going to be doing something else in Fitme.
You're not allowed to. You're never allowed to.
I know. Once you leave, you can never get out.
Yeah. Once you
can't
join, you can never leave.
You can never unknow.
Yeah. You make too many good friendships here.
It is. It's really cool.
And it's not a cult. I don't care what anybody says.
You're like, I don't care what anybody says.
I like the Kool-Aid.
I drink the
It's not Kool-Aid. It's not Kool-Aid, it's water.
Yeah. Okay.
You drank the gallon a day water.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So does anybody want to talk about this topic or anything else? All's fair game.
Here you go. You're welcome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies. Have a good night. And did you want to say something, Raquel?
I just want to say thanks for everything. You guys have been great.
Welcome.
Getting to know you and all your advice. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies. I'll see you soon. I got to call you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.